Stop hurting her. She's carrying your baby.
It's your word against mine, ape!
You lay one more finger on her, and I'll bring your entire empire down. The words sliced through the champagne laughter and soft jazz like shattered glass. The reply came colder. Do you really think anyone will believe you? A black woman who serves drinks. That was the moment the polished masks in the Royal Crescent Hotel cracked. The New Orleans charity gala glittered with diamonds and donors, but it was a room full of people who had already decided who mattered. At the back stood Nia Carter, 24, holding a tray of champagne. For 2 years, she had been invisible by design. Under the chandelier stood tech mogul Julian Rourke and his pregnant wife, Celeste. A spill, an awkward laugh, and then a slap, sharp and unmistakable. Celeste hit the floor. No cameras shifted. Fear wore tuxedos that night. Everyone turned away. Everyone except Nia. Please, Nia said, her voice steady. She's pregnant. Julian turned, eyes full of fire. With one look, he declared war on a woman he thought was nobody. Have you ever watched injustice happen and felt the room choose comfort over courage? Stay with this story. Like, subscribe, and keep watching, because one voice is about to change everything. Julian Rourke's glare was ice. You think this is your business? Serve drinks. That's all. Celeste, trembling on the floor, whispered a plea for him to stop. But Nia didn't flinch. She stood between power and violence like a living shield. Then Julian struck, a sharp slap to Nia's face. Pain shot across her cheek, but Nia stayed upright. You really think anyone will believe you? He hissed. A waitress? Nia pulled out her phone. Her hands shook, but she hit record. I don't need them to believe me, she whispered. I just need them to see. A gasp broke the frozen room. Phones lifted. For the first time, people noticed. From the edge of the hall, Marcus Hall, the head chef, stepped forward. That's enough, he said, his broad shoulders blocking Julian's path. Julian had the wealth, but tonight, Nia held the truth. The war had moved from the shadows into the light. By morning, the city felt muted. Nia sat in her tiny apartment, her cheeks stinging. There were no news reports, no trending hashtags. Julian's PR machine was already working. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. They're trying to bury it. Be careful. Nia checked her phone, but her heart sank. The video file was corrupted, broken into digital fragments by a remote hack or a glitch, but she refused to be silenced. Hours later, a legal notice was slid under her door, a threat of a massive lawsuit if she spoke. Nia's eyes hardened. They didn't realize that threatening her only proved how much they feared her. She spent the night typing, documenting every slap and every silent witness. She contacted a tech specialist friend to recover the footage. The quiet of the night wasn't safety. It was the calm before the storm. What would you do if your only evidence was erased by the person who hurt you? The next morning, Nia walked into a news studio. Her tech friend had performed a miracle, recovering the footage from the cloud. She sat with journalist Talia Bennett. Show me, Talia said. The footage played. Celeste's terror, the slap, and Julian's arrogance were now captured in pixels. The Rourke empire was cracking in real time. Within hours, the hashtags exploded. Justice for Celeste, Nia spoke. Investment meetings for Julian's company froze. The board of directors began to panic. Nia didn't shout. She let the truth do the work. Marcus sat beside her as they watched the world react. You lit a fire, he said softly. Nia shook her head. I lit a match. The room was already full of gasoline. 2 weeks later, Julian Rourke was in court. His lawyers were sharks, trying to paint Nia as an attention seeker and Celeste as unstable. But Nia remained unwavering, sitting in the front row every single day. The turning point came when a former executive, inspired by Nia's bravery, took the stand. I saw the abuse for years, he confessed. I helped cover it up because I was scared. No more. The courtroom held its breath. The untouchable mogul was finally trembling. Julian was sentenced to 6 years in prison. His empire dissolved and his name became a warning. Months later, Nia stood at the opening of her new foundation, the Lights Foundation for Survivors of Abuse. Celeste was there, smiling and free. A young girl approached Nia and whispered, I want to be brave like you. Nia knelt and looked her in the eyes. You already are. The fire Nia ignited had become a blaze of hope. One voice can awaken the world. If you believe in the power of truth, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of courage. From the other side of silence, toss stories, where real voices rise and truth finds its echo. Like, subscribe, and share this story, because one voice is enough to change everything.